I think the one thing I do want to mention is after 3 weeks off, and last week for me personally was a rough week. I had to run up to New York for a funeral, and a credit to my staff. I missed a day of practice, and I felt like we were as prepared a team as I've ever been around, and that's a credit to John and Brad and Zach and Rob and Mark behind the scenes. So I really felt comfortable, and I'm really proud of my staff for putting our team in really good position to be successful today.
Wags.
Well, I mean, I didn't see too much rust. I mean, there was a little bit of sloppiness with ball handling, but were you surprised how well your team played considering the layoff and not practicing, Joe?
Wags, I'm glad your standards are a little bit lower than mine. I felt like we were rusty catching and throwing. Look, Bucknell is as challenging a team to prepare for as anyone out there. They do such a good job with making the game chaotic, and they're disciplined in it. It's a really tough preparation week. And so the sloppiness, I think is just, it comes with the territory. So you're probably more right than I am, Bill, that we were more sharp. And I'm proud of them. And I think it's the fact that when we were off for 3 weeks, these kids didn't put their sticks away. They did their stuff on their own. And, listen to Pat Skalniak speak, right? Is there any question that kid was out there for 2 hours a day, throwing the ball against a wall somewhere on the yard and making sure that he's going to be prepared 3 weeks later? There's no doubt in my mind that him and his teammates were doing that. And that's why we're so blessed to have guys like that we can coach.
Well, you mentioned Skalniak. Can you talk about what he did today? That third quarter when you really took charge, he was the key factor. He had 2 goals, 2 assists. He was making things happen. What are you surprised to see that out of Patrick?
No, not surprised at all. I made the comment at halftime that great players make little plays. They don't make the big ones. They make little plays and just stack them on top of each other. I had no idea that he was 2 and 4 until after the game. I felt his presence. And I just said that to him afterwards. I said, look, you're a great player, and I don't need to feel like you've got 9 goals or 6 points during the game. We'll look back at the stat line and it's just going to show up because you just make all those little plays. And I think he did that. I think you saw him grow up a little bit today. It was a gutty performance, not just by him, but by our team. Because Bucknell, they never gave up, and they pushed us to the brink almost there in the fourth quarter. And guys like Pat Skalniak stepped up and did their job.
What can you say about Spencer? He stood on his head at times, made some pretty spectacular saves, some point blank one-on-one saves, saves from his knees, his butt. I mean, he was unbelievable. Yeah,
he was. I thought defensively we were less sharp than we needed to be, and he bailed us out. And if he didn't, the game could have went a different way. You don't know what the emotion. I felt like we were flat, honestly, relative to them emotionally throughout the game. And if Spence didn't stand on his head and they bang a couple in there, you don't know how it goes after that. And he stepped up, made the right play, made those dramatic saves in those moments to steady us and keep us in the fight.
And the offense was fairly balanced. I thought a lot of guys were involved. Sweeney had a hat trick. Perriton scored a couple goals. Had assists. Were you pleased with the balance on offense, Joe?
Absolutely. And that's what we want. We want everybody to have a hand in it. And one day it's going to be a guy like Pat Skalniak who walks away with 6 points. And another day it's going to be somebody else. I think it makes it more fun to be a part of our offense for those guys because we're not just looking to one person. It makes us hopefully tougher to scout and more dangerous as the season progresses.
Go ahead, Phil.
Coach, you guys seem to be feeding the crease a lot today. Just how pleased were you with the attackmen's work to get open out there?
Yeah, Brad Ross made a few adjustments mid-second quarter, would change our pattern a little bit and force the guys to look more inside. We thought we were going to be able to attack them on the perimeter because of their adjacent slide, but then they changed their slide package and started coming from the crease. And, then we were able to get some matchup switches and get CD the ball, which opened things up, when he's dodging against a short stick. And that's all Brad Ross doing his stuff on the X's and O's and putting the guys in the right position.
Yeah, you touched on the adjustments made. Just how pleased are you when the guys that they're able to adjust in the game and change a style of play halfway through?
And it's not so much style of play; it's just little subtleties that we can make adjustments to. And I'm happy that it's easy enough for them to respond. But at the end of the day, it's players making plays. You can draw up everything in the sand, but these guys have They got to step up, and I'm proud of the guys who did today.
Thank you.
Wags, any follow-ups?
Yes, Coach, you were 26-29 clearing the ball. Did you feel you handled the 10-man ride well?
I did. I think a couple of those clears, we got lucky where we should have turned the ball over in the offensive box, but didn't. I thought we could have managed a few more situations, but all week we told the guys it was going to be chaotic and we had to manage the chaos. And I felt like we did. I was surprised they didn't 10 minutes earlier. I was actually thankful they didn't because it allowed us to settle in. But once they did, knowing it was going to come once we went up a little bit, our guys handled it for the most part.
You have a big game next week against Loyola, the preseason favorite in the league. What does Navy have to improve upon in order to beat Loyola next week?
We just got to stack simple plays on top of each other, Wags. And, as I told the guys in the locker room, we've got a very hungry and very good Loyola team coming into town. And, recently Navy has not been successful, but really this week is about us. We've got to focus on getting better, remaining healthy. Hopefully we can get a few more guys back here soon and be at 100%. And then we just got to stack some plays on each other, and I think the game Saturday, I expect the game to feel like that end of the third quarter, early fourth for 60 minutes. So, if that's any indication how our guys handle those pressure moments, I think we're in for a great game on Saturday against a very good team.
Coach, just having fans back in the stands, what was that like for the guys?
It's great. Yeah, it's great. Hopefully the weather continues to hold out like it did today. And, Saturday, maybe 60 and sunny, and maybe there's a few thousand people here watching two of the great local teams play for some Patriot League, for a Patriot League win.
How good does it feel to come out after your first game in a month and win a big Patriot League game?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of time off. Got to reevaluate, get our bodies right, prepare for school. It's just great to play the game of lacrosse with the guys you like. Like it's been a while. But getting back on the field, running through the tunnel, it's a feeling that this team needs. And now that we got a first Patriot League game under our belt, we're gonna hit the ground running and on to the next. So it's really nice.
You played a big role in that third quarter when Navy outscored Bucknell 6-3 to take control. You had a couple assists, a couple goals. Can you just talk about that third quarter and your contributions? It seemed like you really were pressing the cage and making things happen.
Credit to Bucknell. They came out and put it on us early. During halftime, we used that time for adjustments. And I think you saw that in the second half. We rebounded. The tempo picked up a little bit offensively, and we were getting the balls on sticks when it needed to be there. It wouldn't have happened if the scout team guys during the week didn't do their job and get us prepared. Really, the credit goes to them too. It was just a team effort, and everybody executed perfectly.
You got very balanced scoring, a lot of guys involved with the offense. Is that good to see?
It's the best thing that this team needs. Just everybody growing as one, no individual guy sticking out. You might see it in the stat book, a guy just above everybody, but the guy will tell you that it's never the one individual, it's the whole team, because without, the coaching staff, the staff, behind the scenes, none of this is able to happen. So it really is a team effort.
Go ahead, Phil.
Hey, Patrick, what were your thoughts on the play of the goalie today, Spencer?
Unbelievable. I mean, it's pretty rare to see a goalie get an assist. So that was pretty cool. He handled his pressure really well, and he stood on his head, the whole game. And we see that every day in practice. It's tough to score on him. He's truly one of a kind, and we're really blessed to have him on our side.
You talked a little bit earlier about adjustments. When Bucknell threw the 10-man ride at you, you guys seemed to handle that pretty well.
Exactly. And it's due to the guys, on the scout team, the every day in practice, we go over the 10-man, if they're going to do it, if they're not going to do it, how are we going to attack it, and different possibilities of what we're going to run to clear the ball. So, the guys that are on the sideline and behind our bench, credit goes to them.
Lastly, for me, you touched on this a little earlier, just how was it to be back out on the field after so much time off?
Amazing. Lacrosse is the sport that this whole team loves. That's part of the reason why we're here. And it's just great to be able to wear Navy on your chest and play lacrosse.
Spence, you kind of stood on your head there, made some spectacular saves. Obviously a career best 17 saves. What can you say about your performance?
Just got to give a lot of credit to Bucknell. They fought and scrapped their way back into the game towards the third and fourth quarter, and then credit to the defenders in front of me. We made adjustments at halftime, and then all the guys in front of me were putting them in the spots that we wanted to. So,
What did you feel about the defense's performance overall, Spence?
I thought it was good. It was sloppy at times. Their pace seemed to be slow at the beginning, and they were getting open looks, but the coaching staff made adjustments, and defenders executed.
You never know what you're going to see after such a long layoff. I mean, it would have been expected for you all to be rusty, a little bit sloppy. How good does it feel to get away with a win, considering the circumstances?
It feels really good, but I think just credit to all the guys on the team, because I know throughout that whole 3-week period that we were off, everyone was kind of out on their own doing work, getting healthy. So it was just great to get out there and get another win.
I'll let Phil Bergman ask you about your great assist.
I was about to ask about that. It's not every day a goalie gets an assist. How was that for you?
It was pretty crazy. Wasn't the best of passes, but Christian made a nice play on it and was able to get another goal for us. So,
Including the club ball circuit, have you ever had an assist before?
I have never, no. That was the first time.
So what's that moment like?
I was pretty shocked. Coach all week was saying that those opportunities would happen just due to their 10-man ride. And I saw Christian open and try to get a good pass to him, but he just made a nice play and was able to get the goal.
And later in the game, you almost had a goal on the cage. What was that like, throwing the ball down there?
I'm not really sure. It was with their 10-man ride and their pressure, you got to give credit to them. Just causing chaos down on our end of the field when we're trying to clear it. And when it gets late in the shot clock, you just got to try to get it down the field. So.